Alien relatives visited. Their two naked daughters begged me to fill them. The unexpected arrival. Twilight settled over Meridian's silver dunes as Darian Cole watched from his research station window. 3 years of solitude had given him peace, but tonight the air hummed differently. A brilliant vessel descended, all flowing curves and translucent surfaces refracting light into rainbows. It settled gracefully on his landing pad, unlike any colonial ship he'd seen. His heart hammered as 3 luminous figures emerged. The eldest moved with regal bearing, her form shimmering with inner light. Behind her came identical twins whose opalescent skin shifted between pearl and silver with each step. They wore nothing, completely bare, yet their nakedness seemed sacred rather than scandalous, as natural as starlight itself. Darian's breath caught as they approached. He fumbled with the airlock. When the door opened, they stood before him, breathtaking. Delicate features, symmetrical faces, eyes like polished gemstones reflecting his astonished expression. Darian Cole, the eldest spoke, her voice resonating in his chest. "I am Valora of Athros. These are my daughters, Nisara and Lyrian. We are your family." My family?" Valora smiled. "Your grandmother Allura never mentioned her first love? She fell for my brother Thessian during exploration missions. You carry our blood." One twin stepped forward, glowing more intensely. "I'm Nisara. A solar flare damaged our ship. We need sanctuary during repairs." The other twin, softer featured but equally captivating, added quietly, "I'm Lyrian. We've come a long way to find you." Their gazes held his, and Darian felt an inexplicable magnetic pull that made his skin tingle. "Please, come in," he managed. Their presence transformed his utilitarian space. Valora settled on his couch while the twins explored, speaking in musical chimes, occasionally glancing back with expressions that made his pulse race. Over a simple meal, Valora explained their lineage. "Your grandmother returned to Earth carrying Thessian's child. Your mother inherited traces of our genetics, but they concentrated in you. You're more luminary than she ever was." On Athros, Lyrian said softly, "Emotions manifest as light on our skin. Nakedness allows complete honesty. No hiding." Their eyes met, and Darian felt that pull deepen. Nisara noticed that, something flickering across her glowing features. The twins examined his botanical specimens with genuine interest. Nisara challenged his theories with sharp intelligence, while Lyrian touched preserved flowers with such gentleness that Darian wondered what else those hands might touch. He tried to clear such thoughts. These were relatives, however distant, yet the way they looked at him didn't feel familial at all. As exhaustion showed on their faces, Darian showed them to guest quarters. The twins paused in the doorway. "Thank you for welcoming strangers," Nisara said, her voice intimate. "You're not strangers, you're family." Lyrian stepped closer, near enough that he felt warmth radiating from her skin. "Are we?" she whispered. "Only family?" Before he could answer, Valora called them inside. The door closed, leaving Darian's heart racing in the empty corridor. That night, alone, he couldn't stop thinking about them, about Nisara's fierce glow, about Lyrian's gentle depths, about the impossible situation that had just transformed his isolated life. Outside, twin moons rose over silver dunes. Everything was changing.
The desperate plea. Morning light found Valora studying star charts, her skin shifting in worried blues and grays. "We sought you deliberately," she said without preamble. "The luminary are dying. Our genetic code is collapsing inward. Within 2 generations, we'll be extinct." Darian set down his coffee. "I'm sorry, but why me?" "Your hybrid genetics hold our salvation," Nisara said from the doorway. She and Lyrian emerged, luminous in morning light. "Only you can help us." Lyrian moved close, her skin showing soft kinks and golds. "We need you to bond with us through intimate ritual, union of bodies and souls." "You're asking me to," Darian's mind reeled, To save our species, Nasara stepped before him, eyes blazing, through sacred bonding that transcends mere physicality. We barely know each other. When we learned about you, Lyrian said, hand finding his, we felt recognition, like we'd been searching for you forever. This is about survival, not romance, Valora interjected sharply. It can be both, Nasara countered. What we feel for you is real. Her fingers hovered near his face. I've never felt this certainty. Darian looked between these extraordinary women. I need time. 5 days, then we return to Aethros with or without your agreement. After Valora left, Lyrian asked, would it help to know us better? Yes, I can't decide based on necessity alone. They spent the day together. Nasara challenged his botanical theories with fierce intelligence. Lyrian asked penetrating questions that made him reveal his loneliness, his feeling of never quite fitting in. You always carried our light, Lyrian said softly. You just didn't know it. Over lunch, they taught him their musical language. Nasara's laughter at his pronunciation was infectious. Lyrian's smile made his heart race, especially when her knee brushed his and neither pulled away. Outside, the twins experienced real wind for the first time, running and spinning across the dunes. Darian captured them, feeling freer than he had in years. Collapsed breathless on a dune crest, Nasara faced him. If there were no duty, would you want us? Yes, I admitted, both of you. Our culture embraces multiple bonding, Lyrian said. Love multiplies when shared. I've never. Neither have we, Nasara assured him. Not like this. As twin suns set in amber and rose, Darian felt his resistance crumbling. I'm afraid, he confessed, of not being enough. Lyrian's hand found his. But staying safe and alone, is that living? That night, sleepless, Darian found Lyrian in the observation dome, bathed in moonlight. May I touch you? Intentionally? Yes. Her fingers traced his jaw. Where she touched, warmth spread and his skin began glowing faintly, dormant genetics awakening. You're beautiful, she whispered. Your soul is reaching out to mine. His hands settled on her waist as she closed the distance, kissing him sweetly and searchingly. When they parted, both glowed brighter, their light pushing back darkness. I want this, she breathed. Not just duty. I want you. Nasara appeared in the doorway, expression complex with longing and desire. Don't stop, she said roughly. I want this. She joined them, and suddenly Darian was surrounded by warmth and intoxicating scents. His hands found their waists as theirs found him. Yes, I'll do the bonding, not just for your species, for us, because I want you both. Joy lit their faces brilliantly. When they kissed him, Nasara fiercely, Lyrian tenderly, Darian finally understood home. Growing connections. The next days transformed everything. Valora maintained distance while the twins became constant companions. Nicera challenged Darian to midnight races. When he caught her, she rolled them so she straddled his waist, eyes blazing with triumph and heat. I let you catch me, she teased. Liar! She leaned down. Prove it! Their kiss was fire and challenge until they both surrendered. Her skin blazed crimson and gold when they finally broke apart. 3 more days until I can have all of you, she whispered. With Lyrian, connection grew through quieter intimacy. She taught him to read emotions in skin glow. In his lab, she revealed intuitive understanding of his work, seeing patterns he'd missed. Life moves in spirals, not straight lines, she observed. When he kissed her in gratitude, she melted against him with soft sounds that made his entire body respond. I love your mind, he murmured. And I want to know every thought you've ever had, she replied, fingers tracing his back. A dust storm drove them into his shelter. All 3 pressed close for warmth. Wrapped together, they shared stories of loneliness and belonging, of crushing responsibility and secret dreams. Sometimes I resent it, Nicera admitted. The weight of an entire species. What if we fail? Then you won't be alone in that failure, Darian said, pulling her closer. I'll be there. They dozed together, a tangle of limbs that felt utterly natural. Darian woke to Nicera watching him with tender vulnerability. I'm falling in love with you. Is that allowed? I hope so. Because I'm falling too, with both of you. When the storm cleared, Valora confronted them, furious. You're treating the sacred ritual like casual romance. This is about survival. Mother, Lyrian began. No. If the bonding fails, you've wasted your viable years. Enough. Darian stepped between Valora and her daughters. You came to me with your plea, and I agreed. But I won't be treated like breeding stock. If you want this bonding to work, it needs to be real. It needs to be love. Valora stared, colors shifting from angry red to assessing purple. You speak like a luminari. We're not children, Lyrian said, standing beside Darian. We know what we're choosing. We love him, Nicera added firmly. Both of us. That's the truth. Valora studied them, her defiant daughters, this protective human between them. Finally, she sighed, colors softening. Very well. The bonding ritual will bind you together forever. Once completed, you'll carry pieces of each other eternally. Are you prepared? Darian looked at both sisters, seeing his certainty reflected. Yes. Tomorrow night, during the moon's conjunction. Valora paused at the door. I hope you're worthy of what they're offering. After she left, Nicera pulled Darian into fierce embrace. Thank you for standing up to her. 24 hours, Lyrian murmured. Tomorrow everything changes. They prepared through meditation and fasting, learning ceremonial phrases. Between preparations, they stole intimate moments, Nicera kissing him breathless in the lab, Lyrian showing him synchronized skin glow patterns in the observation dome. The night before the ceremony, they gathered in his quarters, unable to sleep. Quiet conversations about hopes and fears turned physical, exploring with hands and mouths and whispered encouragements. Darian learned Nicera liked being challenged, matched with equal intensity. Lyrian responded to gentleness and patient exploration. Together they created harmony that left them trembling. At dawn, tangled together, Nicera asked, Ready? Darian kissed her, then Lyrian. Ready.
The sacred union. Twin moons rose as the ceremony began. Valora had prepared the observation dome with luminescent crystals amplifying their natural glow. She guided them through meditation until all three breathed in perfect synchronization. The bonding requires complete vulnerability, Valora explained. Physical, emotional, spiritual. Open yourselves entirely. She withdrew, leaving them alone beneath the stars. Nasarek took Darian's face in her hands and kissed him with everything she'd held back, fierce passion and tender devotion intertwined. Lyrian pressed against his back, lips on his neck, hands tracing patterns that ignited his skin with light. They moved to the prepared bed beneath the crystalline dome. Ceremony transformed into genuine passion, tender caresses, whispered forever promises, bodies moving in perfect harmony. Nasara guided him confidently, showing where she needed him. Her body responded with cascading light waves as pleasure built. When they finally joined, the sensation overwhelmed, not just physical, but spiritual, essences merging. Lyrian joined them, creating an energy circuit flowing between all three. Darian felt their emotions flooding through him, Nasara's fierce joy, Lyrian's profound tenderness, his own wonder amplified through their connection. They moved together in ancient rhythm, the bonding ritual guiding them through waves of escalating intimacy. Darian shared himself with both sisters, and they with him, until individual boundaries dissolved into collective ecstasy. When completion came, it was transcendent, all three crying out in unified release as genetic material and spiritual energy merged. Light exploded from their joined bodies, filling the dome with radiance visible for miles. Afterwards, they lay trembling with exhaustion and fulfillment. Darian could still feel them inside his consciousness. Nasara's fire, Lyrian's gentleness, both now permanent parts of his soul. "I love you," he whispered to both. "And we love you," they harmonized, "forever." Hours later, still wrapped together, they spoke in quiet voices about what they'd created. "I've never felt anything like that," Nasara said, trailing fingers across Darian's chest. "It was more than I imagined." "More than any of us imagined," Lyrian agreed, her head resting on his shoulder. "We're truly bonded now, three souls woven into one tapestry." Darian kissed each of them tenderly. "No regrets?" "Only that we didn't find you sooner," Nasara replied. They made love again as dawn broke, slower this time, exploring their new connection, learning how their merged consciousness allowed them to feel each other's pleasure multiplied threefold. When Nasara peaked, Darian and Lyrian felt the echoes. When Lyrian trembled in release, the sensation rippled through all three. "This is what the bonding truly means," Lyrian whispered, "not just creating life, but becoming one life together." Over the next 2 days, they rarely left their quarters. Valora brought food, smiling knowingly at their disheveled appearances, saying nothing about the constant glow emanating from beneath their door. They talked between lovemaking, about Athros, about Darian's research, about the family they would build together. They learned each other's bodies completely, discovered preferences and pleasures, created their own intimate language of touch and light. "I can't imagine my life without you now," Darian admitted on the second night, flanked by both sisters. "You'll never have to," Nasara promised, kissing him deeply. "We're yours," Lyrian added, "and you're ours. Forever."
A new family among stars. When ship repairs completed, Darian faced his choice. His solitary research life seemed hollow compared to the vibrant connection he'd found. Valora approached him privately. "You've proven yourself worthy, not through the bonding alone, but through how you've cherished my daughters, how you've stood up for them." "I'm coming with you to Athros," Darian said, "if you'll have me." Her smile was genuine. "We would be honored." As their vessel lifted from Meridian, Darian sat between Nasara and Lyrian, hands clasped, watching his old life shrink below. "No regrets?" Nasara asked. "Only that I didn't find you sooner." Lyrian rested her head on his shoulder. "You found us exactly when you were meant to." The journey to Athros took weeks. Darian learned to control his emerging luminescence, discovered luminary customs, and deepened bonds with both sisters. They made love frequently, sometimes all three together, sometimes individually, exploring unique dynamics of their relationships. He learned that Nasara liked to take control sometimes, her passion fierce and demanding. Other times, she surrendered completely, trusting him to lead. Lyrian preferred slow builds and gentle touches, but occasionally surprised him with bold initiatives that left him gasping. Together, the three of them created something entirely new, a relationship without hierarchy or jealousy, where love flowed freely between all connections. When Darian was with Nasara, Lyrian felt joy for them both. When he held Lyrian, Nasara's happiness added to theirs. "This is how love should be," Lyrian said one evening, as they lay together in their ship quarters. "Abundant, not scarce. Growing, not diminishing." Arriving at Athros, Darian gazed in wonder at crystalline cities rising like frozen music from the planet's surface. Luminari who greeted them glowed with hope when they saw him, this hybrid who might help save their species. But as Nasara and Lyrian led him into their new home, Darian wasn't thinking about species or duty. He was thinking about love, about family, about three hearts beating as one. Their quarters overlooked the bioluminescent forests of Athros, where trees glowed in gentle pulses like breathing stars. That first night, they stood together at the window, watching their new world shimmer in twilight. "Welcome home," Lyrian whispered. Darian turned to his two beloved partners, seeing their futures written in the light dancing across their skin. "I'm finally home, not because of a planet, but because of you." They made love that night beneath Athros's glowing sky, not for ritual or reproduction, but simply to express the overwhelming love between them. Slow and tender, fast and fierce, they celebrated their bond in every way they knew. Afterward, Wrapped together in contentment, Nasara traced patterns on Darian's chest. You know what we've created here? It's more than saving a species. It's a new beginning. For all of us, Lyrian agreed. A family built on choice, not obligation. Darian kissed them both, tasting salt and sweetness, and promise, then let's build something beautiful. In the days that followed, they began integrating into Luminari society. Darian shared his botanical knowledge, helping develop sustainable food sources. Nasara worked with scientists on genetic research. Lyrian became an ambassador between human and Luminari cultures. But every evening, they returned to each other, to shared meals and shared laughter, to quiet conversations and passionate unions, to the profound comfort of being completely known and completely loved. Months later, when Lyrian's skin began showing the telltale shimmer of early pregnancy, all three wept with joy, not because of duty fulfilled, but because of the family growing between them. Our child, Nasara said, hand on Lyrian's still flat belly, created from our love. The first of many, Darian added, drawing both women close, if you want them. I want everything with you, Lyrian whispered, everything and always. They stood together at their window overlooking the glowing forests, three souls bound eternally, watching their future unfold in the shimmer of alien starlight. Their love had bridged worlds, defied conventions, and ultimately saved a species. But more than that, it had created something precious and rare, a family forged not from necessity, but from genuine devotion, a bond strong enough to transcend the boundaries of stars themselves. This was home. This was love. This was forever. The end.